So once you click on that RStudio, so RStudio will open and the default window looks like this as we are seeing right now on the screen. So on the left side, that the larger pane is basically the console. So here you can see this is the console. The other terminal and background jobs are the different thing. As we progress, we'll learn about those types. So but the primarily here right now we are concerned about the console. So where basically we'll be writing the codes and we will getting the results. And here as we have discussed, the right side tops we have environment, history, connections, tutorials. So these are the tops we have, tabs we have. Then here right side bottom we have the files, plots, packages, help, viewer, presentation. So this viewer and presentation by default may not be present in your case. So however the files, plots, packages, help will be there. So these are the first case we will have. So let us start working with the R. So R, the other way we can say R is a very advanced calculator we can use as a calculator. So let us use R as first we can use as a R as a calculator. So you can see here the cursor is blinking, that means we can write the code here. So let us say I am writing 5 plus 2. So we wrote that 5 plus 2. So hopefully it would be the result of 7. So we'll say that here also it will be reason. So now to execute that we have to hit the button enter. So once you hit the enter, just below that we can see there is the two numbers appears, one in the within the bracket and 7. So basically 7 is the result and 1 basically shows that the line number of the results. So if there is the longer results, then they will give the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line numbers for the reference. So here because only the very small result we have only one digit, that is 7, it is appeared here as the 7. So this is the basically we can use as the first calculator. Now let us say this is here, but we have not stored it here. So to storing that, there is the very important concept comes the object. That's why we call it R is a object oriented language. So what we mean by the object here, basically you can think of object is a box we create, then within that box we can have the different items. You can have a numerical data, you can have text messages, you can have graphs, you can have the mix of other data frames, those things we can put in. So basically when we say object basically a kind of box we do create, and within that then we put the information to store within the R. So let us say here I am creating a object and keeping the name of that object as a message. So in the short we are writing MSG, this is the message. So now I have created a message here. So then I am using this. What is this? This is what we call the assignment operator. So basically assignment operator here is that what are the things I am going to put into that object. So that instruction is linked to this particular operator, so known as the assignment operator. So let us say here I am writing you people, or I say you people, I mean you students are very smart and intelligent, and by the way I mean it. So now to execute, the execute means this I have written, till now I have not assigned it. So let's assign it. If you wanted to put this particular message into this particular object message, so once write that, then we have put the hit enter. So once we hit the enter, then you can see the moment I hit the enter button, then you can see here in this environment pane now a new term has created message. So this is the value basically I have created. So you can see the workspace here, this workspace there is the change and this has been added. In that message, what are the informations here, it is available here. So basically I have stored this particular text into this object. Now suppose I wanted to see what is the inside into that particular object. So we can use MSG, just then hit enter button. So you can see the result has come up. Yes, you people are very smart and intelligent. So the message which I kept in that box, kept in that object, does it appear here. So this MSG, we can call it as a variable. So why we can variable? We can change what are the information is there. So to get the information what is inside an object, just I have to write the name of that particular object and hit the enter button, or we can say execute that particular, you will get the information. Or other way to say the explicitly produce the what are the information inside that object is the command print. So what we meant by the type compilation, let us see. The moment I type PR, you can see the three letters. So PRI. So the moment I write the three letter, it gives me lot of different suggestions. However, this three letter you can reduce it two letter also. How we can do that? In a minute we can see that. So now we can see these are the things. So here if you see, these are the command names comes, argument function names, and here you can see these are the. So this basically shows from which package this particular command belongs. For example, print com, basically it is the here, and here you can see all the details is there. Principal component analysis performs a print. So this is the detail of this argument. Okay, why for what this function can be used. So here you can say the press F1 for additional help. So if we click on the F1 button here, so you can see here in this case help tab, we have now whole detail principal component analysis. So this how we can use, what are the arguments are there. So what are argument details, everything here we can say these are the details of the different function, the value different it will have, nodes, references, related some other functions, and here are the examples. So it's lot of help is inbuilt, we don't have to go to outside. Now let us say here we wanted to have this print, so we can say this print, if I am writing, so it is showing here. So what is the print? Print values, print its argument and returns its invisibly. It is a generic function which means that new printing methods can be easily added for new class. So let us say here print. What I wanted to print, that I have to give the information here. Now you can notice here this print, there is the x means what information you, the object name that you have to write, comma, after that there is a dot. So basically this print is a function, and to execute any function at least we have to give the certain minimum arguments. So that those what we call the compulsory arguments. So those arguments will appear just before the comma. Then there will be certain optional arguments that should be appear just after the comma. So for example here print, I wanted to print the object a message. So if I write here, then if I execute it here, then you can say we got the same result. So to find out what are the informations we have in a object, we can use either the object name and execute, or we write the command print. Then as we discuss a function, basically we have, and in the function we will have the two types of argument, compulsory argument and optional argument. For example, let us say log of 8. So if I execute here, we will get the value. So basically here this log is nothing but the natural log. Natural log means base is e. Now this is the minimum compulsory argument we have to provide to the function log. So let us say log the same variable 8, then I can put the comma, base is equal to 2. So after comma, this is the optional argument. Why optional? Because without these arguments also you will be able to execute this particular function. So it's enter. So we got the result here. Now before proceeding further, So what we will discuss? We will discuss very important, that is the working directory. So what we mean by the working directory? So the moment we start working in R, they will store all the results, files, everything in a particular folder. That folder is basically known as the working folder. So how to check that working folder? So there is the command, we can get getwd. So get working directory. If you hit enter, so it is showing that here this working directory will be. So we have to add this parenthesis. So it says that D, that is D drive oblique financial econometrics. So I have created a folder in the D drive by name of this course. So that is the my directory we have. Other way to look the directory here is from this. You click on the files, then here we have the option this. The three dots. So from this dot, if you click, it will take you to the directory here. Then here we have the option this. If you click on the gear, setting gear here, so what we get here, we have the option set as working directory, that is the present folder as a set working directory, or go to the working directory. So it will take you the directory here. So that is about the working directory. So it can be changed and set, everything can be done. Then let us create another object A, where basically we are assigning, let us say number 5. So hit the enter button. So we can see here A is equal 5, we have assigned. Now you can see here that object has been created here and the value of that is 5. Now if we type A and hit enter button, we will get the result 5, where the 5 is stored in that particular object, or we can say the value of that object is 5. Now if I write A, then what we will get? So you can say error, object A not found. That means R is a case sensitive language. So if you have written small, then you have to use the small. If you have written capital, then you have to use the capital. So that is the case sensitive. And you basically, whenever we get some error, the first thing we should look whether we have written a proper, given the proper information or not. Is there any typing mistake, whether we have changed the small to capital or capital to small. Then another important aspect in R is the package. So what is the package? Already we have discussed what is the package. Then to use the package, there are the two steps we have to take. One step in a system once we have to do, and one step in every session we have to do. So for example, if I am using the system and wanted to use any package, so in that case, first we have to install that package in that particular system. Then the second step is, whenever we wanted to use that package, we have to call it, that package, into that present session by using the function library. So let us install a package, for example ggplot. So you can see here we got the information install packages. So once it enter in, then you will ask here install packages. In case of install packages, you can click it here. If you take here, so let us little go back here. So if we type install packages, we get here the option. So if you keep cursor here, so this is the case. Then the package name should come within the quotation mark in this, within the parenthesis. For example here, so ggplot2, for example. So ggplot. Now if you hit enter, so you can see here, this is basically installing that package. Now you can see if we put the wrong name, then here you can see the message package ggplot is not available for this version of R. Now suppose I observe, okay, there should be ggplot2 rather than ggplot because the name has been added in the second version of this. Then how to go there? So then by using the up arrow and down arrow, we can move to the used code. For example, if I'm using the up arrow, then the last used command ggplot is appearing here. Now we can go and edit it as add2, then hit enter here. So now you can see here this is installing. So these are the basically installing the different components which is required for the particular software. So you can see that these are the dependencies they have used, and here the has been used. So this is the first part which you have to complete to use any package. Then the second part, now suppose we wanted to use the ggplot, then what we have to? We have to call that installed package into the current session. So for that I will be using the function library. So once you click library, and here you can see the details, loading, attaching and listing of packages. So hit enter. So here we'll have to ggplot. So now again, once you install, automatically it will show you here ggplot2, and press F1 for additional help. So let us press help here, so we can see this. The whole help has come for about the ggplot. So let us say I am here putting ggplot and hit enter. So now it is attached. Now we can use all those functions available within the package of ggplot. ggplot, you can see basically here, it's create elegant data visualization using the grammar of graphics. So a system of, so this package is basically used for the plotting visualization of data. Quite often we will be using this package for our analysis in further classes. Now let us say here the second aspect is data. So there are the different data types in R. R has categorized into different. For example, data could be informed for the date, data could be for the numerical variable, or data could be the complex number. So basically we will concern obviously about the numerical numbers. So here we will be concerned by the two. One is the date, another is the numerical figures. For example, stock prices. So the different dates and the different stock prices here. So how to import the data? There are the different methods to import the data in R. However, here today I will be discussing one of the easiest way to import the data. For that, what we have to do, we have to click on the file tab. Then here we have the option import data set. Then it will give you from which source you wanted to import. So quite often we have our data in Excel. So let us say from Excel. So if you click here, then it will be preparing import. So do you want to, so there basically to import the data from the Excel, we use the package read Excel. So it is that require updated version of that. Yes, we wanted to update. So let us see what happens here. So you can see that this is installing this particular package, what we call the read Excel. So that is happening in the background jobs because we have not written in the console. So here you can see in the background it is these particular jobs happen, and by that time we can work here. So let us say here once it is installed, this particular window pops up. So now here you can say browse. So we can locate wherever we have the file. For example, I have the file in the D drive of the folder financial requirement. Here we have file auto. So once we open this, so you can see here this. So before that, let us see how the Excel file looks like. So this is the data file we have. So you can see here how we have listed. This is the basically monthly data of the auto index listed on the BAC. So here we can see the different data like this chronologically we have saved, and this looks like this in this particular Excel here. Then once we import, in the R Studio, in R via R Studio using this particular command, you can see here. Then certain things here. So here you can see month double, close double. Basically, double is the integer numbers they take. So however, we know that this is not double, that is not numerical numbers. Basically, it is a date. So once you click here, you can say character, numeric, data, include, skip. So basically, we call this is date. So click on the date. So here you can say now it becomes date. Here we'll say this is the numeric. So if you say this is now numeric, and here you can see this code preview. Basically, instead of using this window, we can write this code directly into the script file. From there we can use. So auto read Excel. So this is the path of this particular folder file where this file is located that we have used, and that must be in the double quotation mark. So this is the compulsory argument you have to give. Then after comma, the optional argument. For example, column types. We are giving that the first column is date, second column is numeric. Then this says that once you import this data, let me see the data. This is the basically coding part, how to import. And this we can copy from, if you click it here, it will be copied. Then what will be the name of the imported data frame? What is the data frame? Data frame is basically like the Excel we have, the number of different rows and columns. Usually columns will be the variables, rows will be the different observations. So if you are storing the data in that particular form in R, then it is known as the data frame. So it is being stored in the data frame as it has the number of columns and number of rows. And name of the data frame is here auto. Suppose you wanted to change, you can change it. Let us say we wanted to keep the name of this as data 1. So we will keep this data 1. Sheet by default. Let us say in one Excel file we have the different worksheets. So if our data is not in the first sheet, it may be in the second and third sheet. Then you can say here this is in the, for example, this is the particular this. So you can use this. So here you can see that now that has been added here. Then as here we clicked here, it has changed. So let it put it the date, and let us put it the numeric variable here. So you can change this here. So maximum rows you wanted to list, you can skip. If you wanted to avoid the first 4, if you wanted to skip first 3, 4 rows, then you can put it here and you can skip. And maximum rows, or you may limit not all the data, only certain number of rows I wanted to import, that you can fix. Then the first row as a name we are importing, because in the first row we have the variable names. So I am clicking first row as names. Then open data viewer. So once you import, open the data viewer. So now let us import this data. So once we imported that data, you can see here this data viewer tab has opened, and now here you can see this particular code has appeared here. Okay, this data is the basically the data I'm importing that has been stored here, and this is the command, and here this is for the viewing of that. Now let us close this. Then here you can say we have added another tab here. So if you click here, you can click the viewer option here. So now let us say we wanted to have some basic information about this imported data. So we can write head function, then we can say the data frame name which we imported. So comma. So I wanted to first 5 rows of this data. So you can put it here, hit enter. So you can say this is the first 5 rows of my data set. Similarly, we can say the last 5 rows using the function tell data 1. So basically which data frame I wanted to look. So the data frame name, comma, let us say I wanted to last 10 rows of this particular data set. So if we enter, so this will be the last 10 rows of the data set. Then suppose I wanted to see the basic structure of that data, then we can use the function struct, then this data 1 and hit enter, then you will have here. So the table or the data frame is the same. So either you can say the table or the data frame, this name here. There. Then it says that there are the two rows. So first month, this is basically, this is says that that is the date, and the format of date is this, that is the monthly data we have. And the another column's name is close, and this is in a numeric character, and observation is from 100 to 298. So these are the values, few values of this number. So today we will end the class here. Then in the next week, after learning about the OLS, we will be using R to estimate the OLS, and different aspect of OLS we will cover using the R. Basically, in that case, we have the two objectives. One, how we use the OLS methodology for the finance, and how that can be achieved using the R. So thanks a lot. So see you in the next lecture.